want to share with you a tour of my front yard and how I manage it despite HOA rules, with working with them without angering them. And we are here in Scottsdale, Arizona, July 22nd. I will also share some of my mistakes, not all of them, how I solved things or didn't. It's all work in progress. We're gonna start all the way around the house at the edge, because I used to have oleanders. I basically started replacing all the native vegetation that the HOA thinks is part of the desert look. So if you look at some of my neighbors, they call it the death look because they have rocks, and then they have a lot of plants that either don't give fruit or they're actually poisonous. Oops, I guess I have a thing I have to grapefruit I have to dump. All right, we're gonna do that later. Okay, so technically this is part of my yard. Up to here, technically, I planted this cactus that was growing outside my window, my kitchen window, because I like the fruit of it. But neighbor kind of didn't ask me and put this poisonous pencil tree and this dead thing and this pokey thing. I know it fruits too, but I know I had plans. I really wanted, and I don't like rocks. Rocks just cook the ground. So the HOA does not allow me to mulch everywhere, but as long as I'm planting something, I can mulch. And I don't want to use Monsanto and kind of poison, and I sometimes have weeds, but I didn't this summer or spring. So if I have them, I pull them by hand, but if I mulch, I don't have to. The only thing I really have to pull out all the time is the palm wheat, baby palm. Whoops, I can't do it with my left hand well. So yeah, those are like weeds. Jeez. So I pull them all the time because I don't want the neighbor to spray and affect my fruit. Ugh, I can't do it with my left hand. Okay, so we're gonna start with my honey jar jujube. I do see that it's suffering a little in the edges, but anyway, I eat this all the time. You can see that it's not technically right because I can't see what you can see. Hold on, let me change angles. It's supposed to be like dark brown even, or red at least, or orange when you eat it, but it's delicious at this age. And I planted it because I was so obsessed with my first tree, and then I looked for trees that will give me fruits at other months to stagger them, so I always have a jujube. I know people, traditional Chinese medicine also uses it. It's really good for digestion and sleep. So I eat them. They're really, really crunchy, crispy, juicy. The seed is like the shape of an olive. So I gobble them. They're just so, oh my gosh. I start my morning with them. Right now it's like 5:30 in the evening. But they're so fun. So I only just planted it. It's been a year. It's a year, 1 year on the ground, and it's gotten this tall. And I think I'm gonna allow it. I'll probably hack it, trim it down. But I think I enjoy having more shade from this one in this corner. So we'll see. That one can handle all kinds of hacking. Here, there's never been anything. I just kind of, when it rained, I wanted to see if it'll retain the water and for how long. And I hate the rocks that are in my backyard, and some of them were already naturally here, so I started shaping them. And what I might end up doing is putting actually like 2 myrtles. Like 2. Sorry, I'm still chewing. Hope that doesn't sound bad. This is Ruby Supreme guava, and it is a young one. but it is doing well. I've also had it in the ground, I think a year and a half, or maybe just more than that one. And the funny thing is, it has been in the ground less time than this one. So this one I bought locally, and I think I got it maybe at Richard's Garden Center. And this one I bought online. Big mistake. It was linky. It was so weird. It was so tall, like really, really tall and top heavy and bending over. And they actually do have a shrubbing instinct. Oh, wow. Hope this is... Yeah. I don't think it's grafted. I think this is good growth. This is good. So yeah, as long as I can plant in between things that are drought resistant, I can then mulch, and this will keep my HOA happy, and I won't have to use the Monsanto look, the look of death, because the desert doesn't look this dead. I don't know. I really like when the quote weeds come in. I get mallow, I get things that are fantastic. But yeah, the HOA doesn't want it, and I don't want to anger them. I'm now getting compliments from my neighbors, so that's good. So this is the love of my life, the gumberry that it hasn't been in the ground a year yet. I planted it, I think in August last year, before we had a bonus heat wave. According to Grok, there's still a chance it might fruit for me this, like at the end of summer, fall. So I don't know, but if you touch the leaves, they're so thick. This one's new. It's so satisfying, and I just feel like this had to be, I mean, you can make an outfit out of it. That's what I feel like it's a Garden of Eden kind of leaf. And look at the trunk. It's unbelievable. Not even a year. So gumberry you can eat when it's not ripe, and cook it and pickle it, or you can wait for it to be ripe, and then it's supposed to be juicy and gelatinous. Sweet and gelatinous. Yeah, gelatinous and healthy for you. The way okra is. Alright, this is a different kind of jujube. I think it was the Ling. I can't believe the name flew away. I picked it because of the dates. I was trying to get dates, and it's definitely not ripe yet, even though it looks more ripe. It's not. It's more bready, dry. If you're into that, for now, I have to give it a chance. It's not fair to judge. And I'm impatient, so I do still eat them. It's growing nicely. It has more of a desire to spread. Whatever was under the graft is a stronger one, and hopefully it'll learn and stop doing that, because my other jujube, my first one, did that initially and then stopped. Once I cut them, they stopped sending spreaders. All right, this is the Ceylon gooseberry from Green Life, and it is now taller than me, and I only just planted it also last summer during the heat. So I think it was in June. I think it was the end of spring, right before. Oh my God, look at these beautiful Nixon figs. So many are winking at me. I pick them every day for like 2 months now, and this is the Breba crop. So not all figs have a Breba crop, or it's not always delicious. It does not need another fig. God, I need an extra hand to pick them, but I'll come back. They're amazing. I've even picked them like days early, left them on the counter, and then left them in a box, and then traveled with them, and they were still yummy. So, yeah. So this is my lemongrass that's here, and I let it go to seed just out of curiosity. I don't know what I'll do with it. We'll come back to the fantastic acerola cherries. So many. come back later. Violet de Bordeaux that I only put in the fall, and maybe it was a year ago. It was right before the crazy sale that dawned at the Green Life. I paid full price, which wasn't a lot. I think it was still $45, but it wasn't the incredibly kept lowering the prices. Anyway, it's struggling, and I'm being so nice to it. I keep trying to figure out how to make it happy. I know I have to push away the mulch away from the trunk, but yeah, I visit it every day and try to give it love, so who knows. The jamun, this was a mistake in that I did not buy it at Green Life, so I had to probably pay more and paid for shipping, got a smaller tree where I could have gotten it at Green Life. Anyway, it's taking off, and it passed my height and then some, all in the last 2 months. So I'm super excited, and I love all Eugenia, all Myrtaceae, like in the Myrtle family, or Myrtaceae family, sorry. I'll explain that later in the video. I have an obsession with them. There's a little blackberry hanging on, survived the winter, even the previous, not exactly growing, but it's hanging on. I think I have to go trim it. I'll explain the pomegranates later. Alright, so this is the first jujube that I got from Green Life, and I dug the hole with my daughter, and there's a lot of fun memories. This one seems to be an evergreen, unlike the other jujubes, and so that makes me think now that it's actually related to the Taiwanese, and it's generally pear-shaped, and some of it is just elongated, like an egg that's been rolled a lot to be even more elongated and elliptical. It gives so much fruit. It's at least twice a year. I just have to keep cutting it back because it's seeking out the sun. I'm allowing it to get big because I think I wanted the shade on the other side, but it just keeps going this way. And then there's some kind of, I don't remember if it's tamarilo, but it's something that like needs shade, so I'm growing it under, and it has survived like 2 or 3 years, but something keeps eating it. It's not me. Okay. I'll show you this one first. This is a chica sapote from Green Life. Put it in last year, and it was happy, and it tried to fruit right away, but of course you're not supposed to let it, but it was smart on its own and did its own releasing of the fruit. According to Grok, it might keep some of these and go to fruit, but it'll take months. But it's definitely growing. It's happy. Sometimes I get little mushrooms here, so it's a good sign. So I am happy. I really, really need to always just buy locally if I can, unless I'm obsessing about some weird cultivar that no one has locally. So this is a guava that my dad bought many years ago, before I obsessed about sub-cultivars or things. And it was a mystery because he just kind of brought it from LA, from somewhere. And we finally got fruit. It's very different from my other fruit. I feel like comparing it to a Mexican cream because it's like so creamy when you bite into it. It's the complete opposite of my crunchy ones in the back. So it's kind of green. It's not that yellow on the outside, and then you bite into it and it's like pudding or something, and the seeds are very soft, and it's a whole other experience. We love the crunchy one in the backyard that I'll have to do another video about. That one came with the house, and it's crunchy, seedless, super aromatic. But yeah, this one hasn't fruited for that much, like only one season, so, and then like an early fruit right before this season. So I think it's too soon to really know the full amount of how much we love this fruit, but it's delicious so far. This is an Arkin star fruit that I bought online so many years ago. It's been in the ground at least 3 years, if not more. And I had a problem with the irrigation, and it survived but died back. But it was never that big. That's the problem when you get things online. You know, they give it like minerals that make it grow tall. This one was hidden. And then I think there's also a rule. Sorry, I'm cutting my sentences in half. But there seems to be like a 3-year rule for a lot of the fruits, where they don't really grow much the first 3 years and they take off. Some of them need more than that, and I don't put as much fertilizer maybe as I should. I do like to do fish emulsion, and I do follow like 3 times a year of compost. But yeah, it still kind of needs a few years to set into this clay soil. And okay, just compare this. This has been in the ground like 3 years, and this I put it in the fall, and I bought a Green Life, and it was like about this tall when I got it anyway. So buy locally, and you'll pay less, and you won't have to pay for shipping, and it will be a thicker trunk, and it's just a better choice. So then it turned out I was really trying to get a different cultivar so I can have 2, and I was sure that all of them had the same name because they all seemed to have the same tag, and I was in a hurry, so I didn't memorize the name. So then I just called back later because this one didn't have the tag on it, and then no one can tell me. So this one shall remain a mystery. All right, this is the Pakistani mulberry from Green Life, and I also couldn't decide if I wanted it to be like a giant tree that gives shade for everything else, or something I can reach. Maybe I do want to chop it down in winter so it can handle it, so I will do that. I've been chopping, but not super aggressively. Okay. This is a pitomba. It's been in the ground also at least 3 years, and I think it's going to fruit because look at all its new growth. It's pretty tall. It hasn't fruited yet. So it's in the Eugenia family, related to the Suriname cherry. So I will talk about that soon. I will explain that in a minute. This is an orange jocote that I only just put in, and it's got all this new growth. It's getting the east sun and some shade because it's a baby still, but I can't wait. It might fruit soon. I'm very excited. Thank you. And this is the Feijoa, also called pineapple guava. So it's a different genus from the other guavas, but it's all under that Myrtaceae family. So yeah, I will get back to that topic. Just remember, you need 2 pineapple guavas, 2 different cultivars, to actually get fruit. You can tell my leaves are different shape, but I wish I was as obsessed about memorizing and searching the subcultivar, like the various types, because it turns out there are ones that have like really big fruit or elongated, but mainly the skin like has different. Some the skin is yummier or thinner or just aromatic, and just there are differences. If you want to get into it, it's there for you, and you need 2 varieties. But I'm gonna let these grow a little longer and see what shape they really and what size they really like, and what else grows and how much space I have before I can put something else in the ground. I really like Feijoa. I had it in my grandmother's house and I used to climb it. It was big. All right, so here's the interesting part. This is a pink wampee right here. I had to get it online. This baby. Oops, it's not. All right, I hope it's focusing. So it has been through like 2 winters. Would you believe? So it's probably grown from seed. So what's interesting is that a pink wampee is in the same family as an orange. So if you are in the Scottsdale, Phoenix type of area that can do citrus well, then you can do some other things in that Rutaceae family. I don't know. You can do white sapote, you can do curry leaf, you can do wampee and pink wampee, and I'm probably forgetting other things. So you don't just have to have oranges, pomelos, grapefruits, lemons, limes, clementines, tangelos. You can vary it, and a pink wampee looks like a grape that's pink. Like I have not tasted it, so I have to wait and be patient. But he has been here without winter protection and without summer protection, except for what it gets. So it's seeing the east over here, and really the south somewhat. And there's not a lot above it. It's actually been in full sun. All right. So, and now to my favorite, Pitango. When I bought this at Green Life, I was trying to recreate the experience I had around age 3. My preschool had just hedges of Suriname cherries, also called pitangos, and we would just gobble. And until this winter, I finally gave it a little trim, and then it gifted me back with non-stop fruiting since May. So it flowered mid-April. By May 1st, I had gazillions of fruit. I could like fill it and give people lots of fruit, and I had no idea. It's just constantly giving me fruit. I'm so excited because last year I only had 1 fruit, and it of course I was able to turn it into a little plant that I put in the ground. But it's such a nice surprise to see that it can actually fruit for way longer than just 2 weeks in May. So you just have to be patient, and it's worth it, and maybe also trim it. So I'm going to be picking them and growing them. But now it turns out, now that I know more, that there are cultivars of Pitango. So if you go into the black ones, there's Zill, Regina, and Lolita. And there's actually people who swear that their Zill is like bigger, stuff like that. Regina's supposed to be the biggest. God, I have to pick it. I'm gonna pick it. So beautiful. Look at this. It's pretty big. So this one seems to be a little tad spicy sometimes. Of the red cultivars, there are ones that are officially spicy. There's different because every person, when you put the seed and you grow your own bush, it's not true to the parent unless you were to use a branch. So it's really fun to try your luck and get like your own flavor potentially. I don't think mine are resinous. I think they're amazing. I don't know if they're exactly what I had growing up. I think they're a little different, but they still have that perfume part about it that I love. I ended up buying now some larger varieties of relatives of Pitango. So there are other Eugenias, in other words. So yeah, there's the pitomba, pitangatuba, and then there's like other things. Uvaya, I don't know. So this is another Suriname cherry or Pitango that I just bought before I got into the sub varieties. This is a black sapote, so that's in the same family as what's it called, persimmon, I think. Oh, how did I skip this white sapote? This is one of those lessons you guys have to learn not to do. So when I was a busy mom, I couldn't always go all the way to Green Life Nursery, and it's so all-consuming, and you really have to do your homework, and you know, it's like an extra child. Every tree has its own needs. You really have to figure out where it should go, and I just couldn't always put that time and thought and then actually drive there. So I made the mistake and I bought it on eBay without all the homework, and it's a seedling. I really wanted the fruit that my dad has growing in his yard. It's so tall and it's so delicious. And I could have just grown it myself from seed. I would have had fruit sooner. So anyway, this one, it is, because it's a seedling, it'll take longer to fruit, and I won't know the exact flavor right away either, but I'll be able to graft. So now I think that I could try to graft more than one variety on it. That might be intriguing if I don't screw it up. Otherwise, it would be way faster to just go to Green Life and buy a grafted variety that will be super good, and I'll know exactly what fruit I'll get. So yeah, they need to be kind of far from, you know, like the pool and stuff. They become huge. I'm dying to eat this, but I don't want to make more chewing sounds. And then I play with the seed. All right, so the black sapote has been in the ground like 7 years, maybe 8. And it only died back after the winter was over. For many, many winters, I would put a huge amount of mulch. I didn't do a lot more to protect it. Sometimes I put mostly just mulch. And it always did really well. And then like in the beginning of February or end of January, something like that. Really, I'm not even saying the right. Definitely when the cold was over, but I think the nights were still cold for absolutely no logical reason to me yet, until I figure it out and I'll make a video. The leaves would just get really upset. Maybe they hate the transition from winter to non-winter, but they finally didn't do it. We had such a mild winter, so it finally didn't die back. So I think maybe it'll keep 1 or 2 fruits. We shall see. But thank you, black sapote. I'm looking forward to tasting you. All right, so this is another Pitango, because you can never have enough. And this is a different Eugenia. It might be more for the birds, but it gets like blue fruits. And I always have a mental block on the name, but it was something like black forest stopper. There's red berry stopper and white berry stopper. But this one had the word black and forest in it. And it's been in the ground for sure, at least 3 years for sure. It was really happy yesterday. It's been really happy, but I just finally added a little fish emulsion, which is scary. I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to, because it's summer and it adds more heat. So I tried to dilute it and just kind of put it not too close to the stem. And now I am seeing some of these. I don't know what that means, but it's not a complainer. He's been a happy camper, and he gets a lot of shade. And that's a lot of the things on this side of the tree that came with the house. A lot of these guys don't get as much sun. This goji, I need to trim it, but it gives the smallest fruit. They're like rice grain size. So I think, again, if I had known better, I would have looked for a specific goji that is a giant goji. Because otherwise I don't see the point of it. This is a pitangatuba. It has been in the ground for as long as that one or even longer. Yeah, like at least 3 years. It's just there. Does not get enough sun. Very dappled. And it's a slow grower anyway. And I think it does need some shade. And it's just a slow grower. Oh, please grow for me. Okay. Oh, there's more to show you. So these I ended up finally getting plumerias from Green Life. Usually I just do fruit trees, but I was ready to have some corners for taking photos, and I have so many memories of plumerias from my childhood. Of my dad like sticking the flowers on cacti and pretending the cactuses grew them. The funny thing is, this is the one where I had a Malika mango, and I used the Christmas lights, the C9 I think they were called, and it somehow burned. It somehow got moved and burned anything it touched. Those stupid lights. I don't know, is this a remnant of it? No, that's not. Anyway, so once in a while you see like, yeah, it burned and it touched the bark somehow, which it's never supposed to, but it did. So maybe an animal moved it. I blame someone else, not me. And I blame myself, and I'm sad that I was not, like every night I'd come out and it smelled like barbecue, but I was so sure that I did all the right things. It never occurred to me that the lights were cooking my beautiful Malika. So anyway, the part above the graph died. But I guess it's really hard to kill mangoes. So now I have a dilemma. It's always easier just to buy a new one from Green Life. If you have the time to go there and the money. So my goal was to have fruit before all my kids leave the house so they can eat it. Otherwise I'm stuck with a lot of fruit. And this is a chocolate mint. It's always useful. Oh, sorry. I lost my balance. Another one, another plumeria. And this is a future home somewhere there of an annona. I need a few annonas. Yeah, this is a work in progress. So maybe I'll do a really unique pomegranate, even though I have plenty, but it'll be symmetrical. These my dad planted like 21 years ago, before I knew anything about growing things, and he didn't pick any specific variety. He didn't care, or he didn't ask. He just went to a local nursery and bought something. So these are very pale. One is a slightly darker one than the other, and the one ripens slightly before the other. So that's nice. But in the end, like if they make it to December, then they'll be like a darker pink. And they're delicious. They're super yummy. So that's not the issue, but it'd be fun to have a different variety. This one grew because the birds chose to plant it there. This is another goji. It usually looks better, so I have to do something for it. My leek, I just bought it at a store, and it's just been making babies, and I use it in the cooking. So yeah, I might do like a black pomegranate here. I haven't decided. And then I want to do something that smells good, like Arabian jasmine or something. That's also useful for teas. Anyway, this is the baby Pitango from the only fruit I got last year. I have to be careful when I put the fish emulsion. I'm dying to eat it. Have to wait till the video's over. Okay, just a few more. I'm almost done. So I'm expanding. I may end up putting some things on a pot here. A lot of baby pitangos. All right, these are the beautiful pomegranates. They're just a beautiful tree, but they have been in the ground for a long time, and I constantly cut them. I have to choose which branches. I try to air it. I love when it gets big and falls and reaches, but then I also know I should trim them. And look, it's crazy. It's July. They won't really be ripe until December. Somebody's gonna come here and pick them too soon. Look at this. They're so big already. Probably because I trimmed it. Oh, and guess what I did? I went and bought something online. I found a Vietnamese pomegranate, and I got it because it says it's an evergreen and that you get fruit year round. And because someone is always helping themselves to every fruit, they just come here in the middle of the night and grab all of them in October, year after year. I need a sign. But anyway, yeah, I think they get so many that they sell, and then the people get it after they buy it and realize they're not ripe. So they are double cheating me and the customer. So that's sad. But anyway, now I will have one that's evergreen, doesn't lose its leaves, and might have more fruits. This has been in the ground, I feel like saying already, definitely more than a year. So maybe a year and a half or two. It's been through a few seasons. It's growing. It's just what happens when you pay like $14 or $12 for something. Yeah, you just have to be patient. And finally, the Suriname cherry. I'm sorry, acerola cherry. I meant acerola cherry. Also called by Barbados cherry. I'm just eating them nonstop, and so are the birds, and it's evening. It's full of fruits and flowers, and it just fruits at least 7 months of the year. So it starts in spring. You can even eat them when they're not red yet. They have more vitamins in them when they're not fully ripe, and you should eat the seed. And people make vitamin C out of acerola cherry. If you buy the brand by Naturello and you look at the ingredient list, it'll say acerola cherry. So I get bagfuls of them right now. We've been eating them day after day. We usually pick them in the morning, and sometimes they're bigger, like in the beginning. In spring they're huge. But look at all the flowers, and there's more. So it's incredible. This one just gives crop after crop, and the only time it rests is in the winter, and then it's right back at it. So, it takes full sun and all the wind and all the harsh conditions. You can pick the hardest spots, and it can handle it. And that's why it's so good for you. They're usually much bigger, but this is what they are right now. Look at so many. Oh, the camera's not focusing. Anyway, so recommend. And then it turns out that the Nancy fruit is in the same family, and also the peanut butter. So the peanut butter tree bush is a relative of the acerola cherry. So I have a baby one I'm gonna have to find a spot for. What am I forgetting? So basically now I get compliments from the neighbors. I'm somehow okay enough with the HOA. I'm not allowed to mulch every single place like you're supposed to, like all the best videos show. So it would save me in the water. It would just be nice if my entire grounds were like coffee. And even when I try, the gardener, the head of the HOA is my neighbor, and he just has to remove. I can only have the mulch around the tree. That's what has to happen. I mainly put in things that are drought tolerant, mostly. I wouldn't say all, but the guavas, the jujubes, Eugenia, even any place that you have like a rosemary that's always too much. See, I'll someday have less of it and I'll put something else here instead. But every place that I had a bougainvillea or an oleander, I removed it. Or a sage. I've taken out so many sages. Look, I still have enough, and they do bring some bees. I have faithful bees that I know it's part of their path, so I'm gonna leave, but in between I can do that peanut butter. I don't even really need that much aloe, even though the aloe is good as a rooting hormone. I'll have some. I'll keep some. I'll probably eventually put more and more fruiting things, like bushes, in between big trees. That's the plan. So this is what I know and don't know as of July 23rd, 2025. And I didn't tell you every mistake I ever made. Like, this was an attempt to have a moringa, which is a dumb spot, but I wanted a moringa. That one didn't take, and I know the root is sensitive. I'm not sure why that one wasn't happy. I have not had luck with moringa. I've tried multiple methods. It's okay. What am I forgetting? Yeah, I'm purposely letting this branch go this way so I can have shade for these guys. So if you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer. Thank you.